What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Chronicles of Virgo podcast. And as usual, I'm your favorite Virgo host, Shakita Johnson. And welcome to season 3, you guys. And yes, your girl is back. I am back finally. Did y'all miss me? Did y'all miss me? Because I missed y'all. I miss talking to myself, talking in this microphone. I miss all of the aspects, some of them, of podcasting. But your girl is back. And thank you guys for joining me for another lovely episode. It has been a long time coming, but we are going to get into some things. But first and foremost, if this is your first time listening to my lovely voice, hello, how you doing? And thank you for listening, and thank you for your support. I know I have had a lot of new subscribers and followers all across social media and my podcast. So thank you guys for tapping in with me and taking the time out to, see what your girl is about. All right. So we are moving into season 3, moving into some wonderful things. But of course, before we get into those things, we got to check in with ourselves. Okay. So we are going to continue our lovely mental health checks that I created. Okay. I created the mental health check on my podcast last year as a way for me to hold myself accountable, to check in with myself, but also to encourage you, the listeners, and my guests to also check in with yourselves. I know we live busy, chaotic lives, and sometimes we have so much stuff going on. So many things are transpiring around us, around the world, that we forget to check in with ourselves. We forget to have those inner dialogues. We forget or just think we don't have the time to just sit for a couple of minutes and take a few deep breaths. Well, this is your moment here at the Chronicles of a Virgo to do that. And another way that we do that is by rating our mental health on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being that you are in a really good headspace, you're feeling good, and 1 being you're not feeling the best. It's some room for pouring, but you're maintaining. So today, my mental health on a scale of 1 to 5 is going to be a 5. And if you have heard my episodes before and you've heard my mental health journey, you know that me getting 5s, I want to spread all of that joy and positivity and those good vibes to everyone else because it's a long time coming. But it also lets me know that, girl, you was on fire. You was doing something good and I need to keep it up. All right. So if you're listening to the sound of my voice right now, I want you to take a few seconds, a few minutes to really sit and check in with yourself. See how you're feeling. On a scale of 1 to 5, how is your mental health today? How is your body feeling? Did you drink enough water? Are you eating some nourishing meals? Did you get your greens in? Take them good old vitamins and supplements. We moving into flu season, so I hope you guys are pumping your vitamin C, vitamin D, whatever supplement of choice you choose to take. I hope you guys are just taking the best care of yourselves and your families. But most importantly, make sure that your mental is in alignment with your body and make sure that you are doing the proper things that you need to keep those things together. And if not, that's okay. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. If you're not feeling good, if you feel like you're not at a 5, try to sit with it. I know, sit with those icky feelings so you can get down to the bottom of the core of the problem, right? In order to heal it, you must feel it, my dear. So again, we do these mental health checks as a way to just continue to check in with ourselves, but also to check in with each other. So thank you guys that took the time out to do that mental health check. And we are about to enter season 3 and we're going to get into some things, y'all, okay? So pardon me, I got the butterflies. I don't know why. I feel like I'm new to this, but I am true to this. So we have been on a 5.5 month hiatus, right? And that means I went on my podcasting break, I think back in May. Although me and Jessica did put out an episode in July. It was just like a check-in, whatever. I had not really done anything fully around podcasting, recording and things, and I just really got back into doing collaborations. Shout out to all the individuals that I have been collaborating with on the back end, right? And I hoped to come back, after my birthday, which was in September, but things happen, and like I always say, life be lifing. And when life be lifing, you have to address those things. And I'm really working hard to address things when they come to the forefront, and not to continue to like push them backwards, because that just makes the problem get bigger and bigger, right? So I'm not going to even sit here and give y'all this whole story and this whole spill of all these negative things that transpired within the last 5.5 months. But what I will do is I will give you the highs, maybe like a high and a low of the things that happened within the last 5 months, right? Well, 5.5 months. So I'm gonna start with the positive. I'll kind of start with the positive. So besides the fact that your girl turned 34 back in September, okay? Yes, I brought my birthday in. Didn't do much. That's how I anticipated it. Long story about that, but it's okay. I got to go see Beyonce. I went to the Renaissance tour in August, and it was the best freaking experience of my life. Okay, the best experience of my life. Shout out to my good sis Jess. We had I know she had a good time. Jess had a good time, but baby, I had a magnificent time, and I would not have chose anyone else in the world to share that experience with better than my sis Jess. So shout out to Jess for that, and just making sure I had a good time and I was okay, But I feel like we all seen like all the footage online of the Renaissance before we even it even happened in the U.S. And a lot of people was anticipating it and different things, and some people, including myself, tried to initially not watch the footage but couldn't help it. But being there in the flesh, it was a different feeling. I was just like, wow, right? And we went to Vegas to see it. So we got to, chop it up in Vegas for a couple of days. And I got to meet my good sis Shantae from Sipping with Shantae podcast. Shout out to you, girl. She came to Vegas and brought those good Cali vibes, and we just vibed out and had a magnificent time. And it was a good feeling to meet someone you met on the internet in a positive space. We connected through podcasting. So shout out to my good sis Shantae. But overall, that whole experience in August, the Vegas and the Beyonce and the Renaissance and all that it was outstanding. Like, I'm fangirling out right now, even thinking about it. I did put up some reels on Instagram and TikTok. So if if you knew you ain't see them, you can go to social media and check out the footage, And I also have a video on YouTube, just like a quick video of our little trip there. But overall, it was so fun. I have so much freaking videos and pictures in my phone that I probably will never post, but needless to say, I will cherish those memories forever and ever. Okay, so that was like one of my best high points of the last 5.5 months. And my low point of the last 5.5 months, because I feel like in life, without having all these wonderful, great things happen, something has to go wrong, right? And it's not necessarily what goes wrong, but it's how we address what that thing is. So for me, but like I said, I'm not going to sit here and pour out all this negative energy and talk about like all these negative things or things that I felt was negative within these last 5 months while I was on my hiatus. What I will say is, for me, one of the low points was having to go back in the office for work. I am a remote worker. I have been remote since COVID. Prior to COVID, I was a hybrid worker where I worked from home 3 days a week, which was fine. My job had some changes they made with like networking and technology and stuff like that, and it impacted my system badly. So unfortunately, I've had to go back in the office, and I've been back in the office since August. And the reason why I said that was, a low moment for me is because I didn't realize the negative impact that was going to have to my body and my mental health. All in all, it was just bad, but here we are a couple months later, and it's okay. Like, I'm managing it well. I don't think that I'll be back in the office that much longer, or at least I hope not. But needless to say, I've been making the best of it, but I've just been having to try to figure out like my time management, because again, going back in the office and you used to being home all the time, I was able to do so much more being at home. I had more time on my hands, I feel like. And now that I'm in the office, I have to get up earlier. I come home later. So everything really shifted around. And now I'm moving back into doing podcasting. It's very different. Because when I started my podcast a year ago, I was fully work from home. And now I'm shifting. So I'm having to find the time management to do things. And it's whatever. But like I said, I'm over that hump of it being the worst time, and I'm just in the adjusting stage, and I'm okay with that. I'm feeling good, making the best out of it. And it has also definitely taught me some boundaries with myself, just as far as like focusing on things and being more present in the now, opposed to trying to just do a whole bunch of things at one time. And I mean, for some people that can be how they function. It was at one point for me, but it also was not healthy and was causing me a lot of like deep anxiety. And now that I know, when you know better, you do better. So I'm just trying to find ways to be focused on more in the now and really do one thing at a time, whatever that is for me. So yeah, those were my high and low points of the summer. Well, the last 5.5 months. Like I said, I have dealt with different experiences, whether it was having struggles with my mental health or my health, two things that I have had issues with a lot within the last couple years. I feel like all that's coming to an end. And I mean an end in a good way, not that I won't ever have like health issues or I won't ever have my mental health days. However, this season that I am entering into, I have learned better ways to just really cope and navigate things. And I have like a whole new mindset and outlook about life and just my experiences. And all of that stuff that's happened these last couple months in my transformation phase, let's say that, is transforming into my brand, and it's coming into Chronicles of a Virgo podcast, which just from the people that I've talked to that have reached out, they see it. People see it, and that's the point. I want it to be seen. I want it to be heard. I want it to be felt. I need people to experience what I'm trying to give. Not just me, but this season moving forward with the Chronicles of a Virgo podcast, what my guests have to give, the things that are going to be said, and so forth. And I'll definitely get into all of that more later, and you will hear and see it throughout the season. So it's all good stuff, all good stuff. Again, people question why I even went on a break to begin with. And what I will say to that is I'm always going to be one that promotes people to take breaks, whether it's a break from work. I take mental health days. I don't know about nobody else. I don't know what nobody else's job offers. I take mental health days. If I feel like I need it, your body will tell you it before your mind a lot of times. And I'm learning to listen more and more to my body. So when it comes to podcasting, this stuff can be very time consuming. It's a lot of energy. The type of show and platform that I have, the type of conversations I engage in, not only do I need to make sure that my listeners and guests are okay, I need to make sure I'm okay, because I'm intaking a lot of things on my end, right? And that's not saying that one person is weak or one person is more stronger. It's just saying we all need to maintain our own well-being and mental health, right? So I'm gonna always promote people to take breaks, and it also helps to prevent burnout. And for me, I don't want to say that my last season burnt me out, but I had definitely, during that course of those months, I had just moved to a new location. It was very uncomfortable, still here, but I'm in a better spirit now. And I knew that there were things that I wanted to change with my show, and the only way I was going to be able to do that was to release the attachment that I had to my show at the time and my platforms and everything else around it. And I had to take a whole step back, and I had to go inside and do some work with me. And then from that, I was able to come back to the drawing board to figure out how I wanted to shift things around, because things were shifting in my life for the better, right? And I know that I had a way to help other people. And that is what we're going to do this year. We're going to do this year, the rest of this year, the rest of this season. And I'm super duper excited about it all. I'm all about just extending the vibe, the good vibes, the love, the joy, anything that is bringing me good feelings. I'm looking forward to extending that to everyone else, especially the guests that I have already connected with and will be connecting with this season. I think that this community is just going to continue to prosper and grow. And my goal is that everyone that comes in contact with the Chronicles of a Virgo from this point on, or even prior, you will take something from each episode, something from a post, and it resonates with you. It may not be an experience that you have lived through or going through now, but you'll be able to take something that is said or posted, and you'll be able to apply it in some shape or form in your present life, or it may help dig up something that you didn't know was still there and help maneuver you through, So again, I truly do look forward to everything that is going to be happening this season on the podcast. Like I said, these last 5.5 months, really this year together so far has been a lot. It has been a lot. I entered the year with a certain mindset, which was not bad. It was really good, and things shifted when I had to move back in about February-ish. And I didn't see a way climbing out of that circumstance that I was in, let alone shifting my mindset to move forward. But I realized a lot of times it's us standing in our own way, and we're only feeling defeated because we done already counted ourselves out. And it's like, how can everyone else count me in, but I'm sitting here counting myself out? And I don't want to be a person that is continuing to seek validation from other people when I know I have the power within me to give my own self the validation I need to move forward. I have my own internal power and strength that I need to sit and focus on what I'm trying to do, and those resources and how the universe works will draw those resources and those people to me. I don't have to continue to just worry about how am I going to do this, how am I going to do that, why is this happening to me? It's not why is it happening to you, it's not why is it happening to me, it's why not us. Why not us? Maybe these things are setting us up for something bigger, and the reason we can't see it is because it is bigger than us. And that is where I came to realize within the last couple months that the things that the universe and God, whatever, your higher source you believe in is setting us up for is something bigger than what we can actually see. And sometimes it means going through a few little mishaps along the way. I don't think I've heard anybody have the perfect journey of how they went from one phase in their life to the next phase into their highest phase. And if you know someone, point me in their direction, because I need to know everything. All right. But nonetheless, I wouldn't trade my journey on my path for anyone else's. Even if you had the easy way out, I don't want it, because I have something I can always come back on in my days where I feel like I'm weak and meek and I can't go, and I can look back and be like, well, remember when you was down there? You got through it though, and I no longer look at my past as things that, how do I say this? I don't no longer look at my past and the things that I did, maybe things that I said, experiences I've lived through as a bad thing. Were they bad experiences? Were some of those things traumatic? Absolutely, right? But I'm not going to sit there and allow those things to continue to dictate my mental health, my well-being, me moving forward, me being a service to other people. I'm going to use all those things and continue to turn those things into my story, because they are always going to be a part of me. But the part of my story that I'm telling now, I'm going to use those things to help other people that feel like they're a bad person, that feel like they can't get through, that feel like their mental health is so bad that this is the end of the end of the road for them. I've been there, I lived through it, and I'm still here to tell my story. And this is where the transformation stage comes in for me these last few months. The theme that I am entering in for this season and moving forward with the Chronicles of a Virgo podcast is the rise of the Phoenix. And many people that know the Phoenix rising means the transformational stage, new beginning, the rebirth, the powering through the ashes, rising from the ashes. You are now into another phase of life. You have overcome this, and this, and here you are still standing, still rising, still telling your story. You may still feel a little crappy, but that's okay. We're human. We have those feelings. We have those emotions. But guess what? The show still must go on. You're going to continue to rise. No one's going to continue to hold you down, because you can hold yourself down. And I mean it in the sense of, a lot of times we look outside of ourselves for other people to hold us up. Guess what? You can hold yourself up, but you first got to get up. And over here at the Chronicles of a Virgo, we are going to continue to rise as phoenixes. We are going to continue to use our voices and our stories to help other people power through and to lend a hand to help them rise up as a phoenix as well. Each guest that's coming on this season, they have phenomenal testimonies. I'm going to say that. Phenomenal testimonies. Some have even said, their words, not mine, that they shouldn't even be here today. They should still be locked up. they should be in jail. They should not be living the blessed life that they have. The things that they are experiencing, they would have never seen that when they was back doing with the things that they were doing. And those people are phoenixes in the rise, and they are still continuing to rise using their stories. They're getting vulnerable. They're shedding their emotions. They have learned to release. They have learned to forgive. And we all have been in situations where we may have been wrong, right? People have hurt us. People have inflicted their pain and their trauma and their negative projections onto us. And those things have cut us deep, so deep that we shelter ourselves away from the outside world. So deep that we shelter ourselves away from entering new relationships with people. That we shelter ourselves so deep that we just shut ourselves away from experiencing new joy, new happiness. Because every aspect of that new part, it makes us uncomfortable. It triggers us back to moments when someone else hurt us, or whatever the case may be. But guess what? Whatever was done to you, however someone else cut you, and however someone else hurt you, was never your fault. It was not your fault. And I know that sometimes it is so hard to forgive people, whether it's somebody you have been in an intimate space with, a parent, a friend, because they hurt us so bad, right? They just have done some horrific shit to us. They hurt us. But we continue to do ourselves a disservice when we count ourselves out and we don't forgive the situation and we are not able to move forward. And with moving forward comes releasing all of that stuff. And releasing it does not mean that it didn't happen. Releasing and forgiving does not mean that you have to go reconcile with these individuals. Releasing it and forgiveness is for you alone, so you can get up, so you can come up out of that hibernation period and you can be like, you know what? I know I'm better than what I was treated. I know I deserve better. I know I'm a better individual. I may have made some mistakes and said some horrific things, but when I know better now, so I can move forward. And I always say that when you know better, you do better. If you know better and you still continue to do the same stuff, then okay, you got to learn what some accountability is. And that's a whole nother episode. But needless to say, you only can take accountability for yourself. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Let me let y'all get in my business a little bit. My last breakup, I was in a position where I was so hurt from the things that had transpired between me and that individual that I was taking accountability for that individual and the things that they done, because I felt like, oh, if I take accountability for what they did, it would make everything right, because it would put all the burden on me. I did all this. I did that. No, they only did that because I did that. I was the accountability queen in that situation, but it was doing it the wrong way. And it took some time for me to realize that, like, I could not hold myself accountable for what someone else did. I could not hold myself accountable for how someone else hurt me. But my accountability came for the part that I played. I had to learn to really dig deep and forgive myself for being a horrible person, even though I may have acted based upon how that person responded or whatever the case is. Those things were still eating me alive. But the bigger picture was, I'm only accountable for myself. And with accountability comes growth. It comes some real internal healing. It comes some happiness, just a place of peace. Because you realize, okay, if I'm only accountable for myself, then I'm going to make sure that I do the proper things on my end. So I'm not out here cutting other people. So I'm not out here hurting other people. And that's not to say you let people walk all over you and say what they want to say. You still have proper boundaries. You still have self-respect, but there's just a proper way how you move, And like I said, that's a whole nother episode, because I'm going to go on a tangent. But I say all that to say, we ain't going to let the weight of other people, other situations, other experiences continue to burden us and hold us down. Because when you look at the brighter picture of things, when we really sit and look at everything that we feel like is a burden in our life, whether it's a person, place, thing, experience, situation, and we look at the ins and outs of all of it and everything, we're like, well, damn, I didn't really play the majority of the part like I thought. And I've been holding on to all this baggage all this time for something that wasn't even my fault. And now I'm actually able to be like, you know what, self, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I have been making you hurt for something that I did not know about. That I did not know. Because again, when you know better, you do better. And sometimes we don't realize that our immediate action is taking accountability for somebody else, or taking accountability for something that was done to us, you know. But you just work on your inner self, work on that self-forgiveness. And when you forgive yourself and you start loving on yourself in a different light, it will allow you to see people differently. I can't speak for everyone. I just know what has transpired in my life these last couple months. Really, these last few years of my healing journey have been phenomenal, but these last few months have really done something to me. And I just want to extend that shift. I just want to extend those healing vibes to someone else. I just want to lift someone else up, because I know a lot of people are dealing with so many different experiences. So many different things are weighing on you right now, and you are sitting there saying, why me? And I'm telling you, why not you? Why not you? And I'm not saying that in the sense of like anyone's better than another person, or someone else's experiences, bigger or smaller, but why not you? Maybe that experience or that encounter is supposed to happen to shift you somewhere else, so you can walk in your full purpose, so you can rise like the phoenix you are. Okay, do y'all see the type of time I'm on now? This is the type of energy that I'm on. This is the type of vibe and joy that I want to continue to bring to you guys, in hopes that we all continue to rise as phoenixes. I don't know how high these phoenixes go, but we're just going to say it's unconditional, unlimited around here. All right, because the sky is the limit. The sky is truly the limit, and we can do any and everything that we want. We can be anything that we want to be, but we have to have that inner belief and the faith that it can get done, just like the faith that we can rise out of the things that we have experienced and maybe still hold on to. All right. So I know I've been on a tangent because I'm so passionate. Oh my gosh, I'm so passionate about all this. I'm so excited for what this season is going to bring. And another part I want to add in here quickly that has also helped shift me into just this whole phase that I'm in my life is a couple months ago. Well, after my birthday specifically, I started working out of this shadow work journal. If you follow me on TikTok, you've seen the videos. If you've listened to, I think I have a YouTube video up. I talked about it as well. Me doing shadow work. Yep, the TikTok store got me. It got me. I purchased that black shadow work journal, just wanting to see what it was about, and they really had me open up in ways that I did not think that I could ever open up, and get down to some nitty gritty. And if you've heard me talk about my trauma and my sexual abuse and different things, y'all heard me say before that my sexual abuse really shaped me as a person once upon a time. And I didn't realize that until I really got with the therapist I have now and started doing some deep healing. Like, it shaped me. Everything about me. Letting y'all get more of my business, it shaped me mentally, it shaped me sexually, how I was acting in intimate spaces, every aspect. My sexual abuse was coming out, and I never realized it because I really thought that this is who I was. Like, I thought I had to do these things, be these things, look this way. But until I got into therapy and was doing the work, I realized, like, oh my God, like, I've been lying to myself, but it's all because of my trauma, all because of my upbringing. Shadow work has really dug deeper than the core of that and helped me realize where a lot of different thoughts, a lot of my thought processes have come from. And that's the beauty of it, because you realize, like, well, maybe these thoughts were not really me. So now let me switch these thoughts that I had about myself, or thoughts I may have had about people or things, and let me see if I shift these things around, will life start to look a little different for me? And honestly, I'm so honest, it has for me. It put me in a space at one point of being quiet, because I started to look at other people like they were the villain in my story. Other people meaning like family, past friends and different things. I'm just keeping it real. It just made me, I was like, oh, y'all really had me messed up. But needless to say, needless to say, sometimes you just have to move forward with the information that you have, because it's not necessarily all the time what happened, it's how you respond. And my response to all of those things had to do with myself, like my healing, my growth, and what I was going to do from that point. I know these things, I have connected the dots, and now what am I going to do? Am I going to call and text these people and bring up old situations and curse them out? Or am I just going to reapply new things that I know and move forward, just bettering myself? And that is the option that I took, because otherwise I may not be sitting here today. All right. And it has also, by doing all that, it has also helped me formulate a different relationship with the people that I am connected with, whether it's family, it's friends. It's helped me see them in a different light, and it's also helped me just be more empathetic to others. I've always liked to consider myself an empathetic person, but sometimes I think we all fall short, and that's just the type of vibe I'm on. I just want to, be more empathetic and understanding, because we lack that as a society. Not going to get into it deep, but we really lack that in a lot of different areas and communities. And I don't want to be the person that just falls in line with what everyone else is doing. And I want to do what I know is right to do. And it does take time. Now, this shadow work journey has been something. I'm still processing a lot of things and working through it. Thank God for my therapist, because she's been right there by my side, sticking it out with me. And it's been a joyous process. Like I said, it's been up and down. My cries, at night, and some of my depressions, they have been strong. But I know that in those strong moments, something good is coming out of it. Like, that is how I look at everything now. Oh, the harder this hurt, something more better is happening on the other end, So I lead with that. I'm going to leave it at that. I might, talk more about this shadow work if you are interested in it, or want me to, talk more about my journey and things. Reach out to me. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind doing an episode about it, talking more about it. Just let me know. Like I said, I do have a video up on TikTok, and I do have them up on YouTube, so you guys can go check those out as you feel, But again, I'm so excited for this season. I know I said a lot in this episode. I know I had like high energy, but that's how I'm vibing, y'all. That is just how I'm vibing. And like I said, I just want to extend all of this to everyone that needs it. Even if you feel like you don't, I want you just to receive it anyway. I hope you guys stay tuned, stay tapping in with me throughout this rest of this season. Like I said, this theme for this season is the rise of the phoenix, and everyone, including myself, that comes forward to you guys this season will definitely make you look at things a little different, in a better way. And I want us all to go into each conversation with an open mind, an open heart, open spirit, and just be open to whatever information you're receiving. And if it don't apply, you can let it fly. But my new thing is, stick it in your back pocket and save it for a day that you may need it. And of course, share with anybody that you ever know this episode and future episodes and even past episodes may resonate with, because I'm about community. I'm about building community, and I'm about just helping other people. Although I also do have a firm belief that everyone is not for everyone, and that is perfectly fine with that. That's something that I had to learn during these 5.5 months, is just because you like a person don't mean the person has to like you back. As long as they're not disrespecting you, you know what I'm saying, and they're just minding theirs, that is perfectly fine. Like, we can't control people. We can't control people's intentions and all of those things. If we could, life might be a little bit more better. But we can't sit and fixate on like how we think people should treat us and all that different stuff. Like, don't get caught up in all that, because if you do keep worrying about who supports you and who don't support you, you're just going to continue to let your own self down, because you're going to feel like you ain't doing a good job. And from what I see, the people I know, whether you're a podcaster, entrepreneur, content creator, everyone's on an amazing job, because you're doing the job that you're supposed to do. And that's all that matters, I have removed myself from this equation a little bit when it comes to podcasting, in the sense of podcasting for me has really helped me heal more but I am offering a service to other people. And the service is me speaking my truth in hopes that you will speak your truth at some point in your life. And also having guests that are speaking their truth with encouraging and motivating messages through their stories of pain, through their stories of trauma, and showing you and me as well that we all can heal and we all can live good lives, So I want to continue to service you guys as my listeners, as my supporters, and a space of just healing and just vibing high, y'all. Just vibing high. So we're gonna have fun this season. We're gonna have those serious conversations, but we also gonna have some candid conversations where my crew come in, and we're gonna have some fun because, like I said, we got some things to talk about. Okay. So I thank you guys for tapping in. I know I probably kept you a little long. I'm sorry, but we are here. We are back. Make sure you tap in with me on social media, Chronicles of a Virgo, on all of your platforms. Twitter, I will never get used to calling that thing X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Just wherever you're at, just go ahead and find me, Chronicles of a Virgo podcast. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Thank you to all of the 103 subscribers so far. I appreciate all of you guys. Soon, I think I'm going to do a little raffle. Just to raffle something off in time for the holidays. But yes, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, my website and my blog, Chronicles of a Virgo, at wixsite.com. The links for all of these things will be in the bio, so you can just go click it, subscribe, click it, follow. And if you're listening to the podcast on the audio, whether it's Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Spreaker, Good Parts, whatever your platform of choice is, make sure you are officially subscribed and your notifications is on so you do not miss an update, episode, none of that good jazz. All right, because this season and moving forward, I promise you don't want to miss it, because you want to be a part of the vibe and the transformation that we all are going to encounter. Okay. And one last thing before I get out of here, if you're following me on social media, I have a post pinned to all of my platforms, I believe, about my new segment, the Ask Keita segment, where you send me questions as the listeners and I will give you my answer of opinion or experience. Now, I was going to do on this one, but I probably don't talk too much, so I'm just going to wait to the next episode to do the question and answer. How it works is you can send it anonymously through the link. I'll put the link in the description box. You just click the link and you type in your question, and it comes directly to me, and I don't ever see who sends what. Okay, I've gotten a ton of them, so thank you guys so much so far for sending. Y'all really are sending some good stuff. Y'all really are. So keep sending the good stuff. And the ones that's asking me the crazy things, am I single, am I dating, all of those things, don't keep asking me that. There are guidelines for all of these things, but nonetheless, keep sending me questions so I can get to start answering them. And if you don't want to use the link, that's perfectly fine. You can either DM me on any form of social media that you are following me, or email them, chroniclesofvirgo22@gmail.com. And whichever way you send them, whether it's DMs or email, because of course I'll see you, the name, it's going to remain anonymous, and I will answer the question and I'm going to post it on social media. So you gotta make sure you tapped in so you can see if I answer your question. All right. I love you guys. I love you guys so much, and it feels so amazing to finally be back. It feels amazing to be shifting and elevating into a new phase of my life, my personal life, the podcast, and I hope the same for you guys. Again, I love y'all. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Most importantly, make sure y'all take care of each other. Peace out.